Hello and welcome to Wahid Technologies. In this video, we will give you a quick demo of how to use our JSON to HTML library. The demo will cover rendering table component from JSON. There are different methods in our library that can be found on our website, and we can use any of those methods. In addition, we have developed an API, the name Northwind APIs, as you can see on your screens. These APIs are freely available and accessible for all. These are developed in order to test our J2HTML library. Before starting the demo, let me show you the introductory page of the documentation of our library. There are two ways of getting a library. Number one is you can get it from our website, and the second way is you can clone it from our GitLab repository. In this demo, we will be using the second way, that is cloning the library from Git repository on the Visual Studio Code. Okay, let's start the demo. As you can see, there are 13 examples of the table component, and we will test each example one by one. Step 1 is to clone our J2HTML library on the Visual Studio Code. For that, go to File, click Open Folder. Let's create a dummy folder. Table example. Select the folder and open it in Visual Studio Code. As you can see, currently the folder is empty. Now continue with the cloning process. We'll go to View, click Terminal. We will write in the command git clone, and for the ease we will copy it from here. Paste it here. As you can see, the cloning is under process. As you can see, the cloning has been done successfully. We have loaded the files of the library successfully here. Now, from the documentation page, we will start testing the first example. From the documentation page, we will get the code for the first example of the table to test it. Let's test the first example table. First, we'll copy the HTML path, and in example 5, we will create a container div. Inside this div, we will paste the div we've just copied for the table. Now, in the JS folder, we'll create a new file. Let's give it a name, table.js. Here we will write a function, get table, added a callback function along with the URL of the API we are using. From the documentation page, we'll copy these three parameters of the JS function and we'll paste it here. We'll make few changes. Replace the my object text, the result value. Go to File and save the changes. Next step, we will create a button. Here we will call the function we have just created. Let's give it a name, submit. Lastly, we will add script tag of the file just created. Go to File and save all the changes. Let's test our first example. Click the Submit button, and as you can see, we have successfully loaded a table. Let's move on to the second example. That is the table color. We will copy these parameters, accept the data, as it will remain the same for all examples. Paste these here. Go to File and save all the changes. Let's test the second example, that is to change the table colors. As you can see, we have successfully loaded the example. There are two components of this function further. First is the heading style, and second is the table body style. In the heading style, by keeping the same table ID, we can change the background color and foreground color of the heading. In the table body style, by keeping the same table ID, we can change the background color and the foreground color. Let's test our third example, that is paging. Once again, no changes in the HTML part. We will simply copy these parameters, accept the data, paste these here. It has been replicated. Go to File and save all the changes. We will create another div and give it a name, div pagination, in order to highlight it. Now go to File and save the changes. Let's test our third example. As you can see, we have successfully loaded this example. We can set how many rows to show in a particular page, and we can move around. Let's test our fourth example. Print table. For that, we will add this button tag. Secondly, we will copy these 4 parts and paste it here. The print function is having 3 parameters: what to print, CSV, where from where, by clicking the button. For that, the button ID has been passed, and a file name. Go to File and save all the changes. Let's test our fourth example. Clicking the Submit button will load the table. And now, clicking this button, as you can see, we successfully downloaded the complete table in the CSV format. Let's test fifth example, that is customized table. In this example, we can add or remove any column or value. For that, we'll firstly copy this variable and paste it here. Now, we will copy these parameters, 3, and paste them here. Go to File and save all the changes. Let's test this example. As you can see, we have successfully hidden the ID column. Let's test our next example, that is getting row data. Once again, we will copy these lines and paste it here. We will remove this variable, remove this button for now, copying this function for displaying the raw data, simply type alert go to file and save all the changes. Let's test this example. As you can see, we are having a button here in order to get the particular row data. Let's click on the first row. You see, we have successfully loaded the data of the first row. Let's test the next example to get data of the multiple rows. Simply copy these lines and paste them here. Avoid any typos. Go to file and save all the changes. So let's test our next example, that is get rows data. For that, here we'll click the submit button. As you can see, now we have checkboxes here. In order to get multiple rows data, let's say we need the data of these three rows. 2, 3. We have checked the row, and in the end we have the button submit. As you can see, we have successfully loaded the values of 3 rows. So let's test our next example, that would be append or prepend. Once again, we will copy this complete code. First, we'll copy this variable, paste it here. Now, we'll copy this function and paste it here. Make the few changes. And for this part, we'll also change our API. Now, go to File and save all the changes. Let's test this example. When we'll like as you can see, we have successfully added new column of price. Let's test our next example, that would be searching in the table. For that, we will first of all copy an input tag and paste it in our div. Now we'll copy JavaScript function path Now we'll go to File and save the changes. So let's test this example. Click the Submit button. As you can see, the table has been loaded. Now we can search to the table. So you see, on typing the name of the on, so you see on typing the first name of a company, we have filtered the result successfully. Our next example is to do the searching in columns. HTML would remain the same. Only these last three parameters will be updated in the JavaScript function. What we're doing, we are searching in the ID column and company. Any other keyword that might be related to some other column will not be entertained. So go to File and save all the changes. Let's test this example. We'll type the ID. As you see, it successfully loaded that result. Now let's say if I type contact value, you see the filter does not work because we have set the filter to only ID and company. Okay, let's test the next example, that is creating a new row in the table. First change in the HTML would be add this button. Secondly, copy this HTML. Second is copy this JS function and paste it here. Make few changes. Call the function here. Create new row. Go to File and save all the changes. Let's test this example. First, clicking the Submit button will load the table. Now we want to add a new row. Then click the button, click New Row. Let's say I'm giving value of ID to WHDT. Let's set its value to technology without any space. Let's keep the remaining parts empty. Click the create button, and as you can see, we have successfully created the row. I will also show you. We have created a new row. Let's test our next example, that is updating a row in a table. You see, in the HTML part, we have only a div section. So here, we'll remove this button for now. In the JS part, we'll copy this table function first and replace it with this one. Remove this variable. This is of no use currently. Replacing it with zal. Renaming this function to update row. Now go to File and save all the changes. Let's test this example. Clicking the Submit button. And as you see, at the end of each row, we are getting this button in order to update the row. Let's click it. Now, we can add it any value we like. Let's change the city Berlin to Germany and click the update button. As you see, it has been updated here and here too. Let's test last example, that is deleting a row from a table. For that, HTML will remain the same. Simply copy this delete function parameter and replace it with update function. Here also rename it to delete. Go to file, save all the changes. Let's test last example, the table component. Clicking the submit button, and as you can see at the end of each row we are getting a button to delete that row. Let's test it. It has been deleted successfully. Thank you for watching the video.